Welcome back to the Daily Dialogue. I'm Alex, and I'm joined by Sophia. Today, we're exploring a mental glitch that most of us live with every single day. It's the tendency to look at a beautiful garden and see only the one weed in the corner. We're talking about the gratitude gap.
Hi Alex. I felt this exact thing this morning. I woke up, the sun was shining, I had a great cup of coffee, but then I remembered one annoying email I had to answer, and suddenly, my whole mood shifted. The sun didn't matter anymore. The coffee didn't matter. Only the problem mattered.
That is the human brain in a nutshell. We are biologically wired to be problem solvers. Evolutionarily, noticing the lion in the bushes was more important for survival than noticing the beautiful sunset. So, our brains became Velcro for negative experiences and Teflon for positive ones.
Velcro for bad, Teflon for good, that is a painful reality. It feels like we have to work 10 times harder to feel grateful than we do to feel stressed. We live in a scarcity mindset. We are constantly looking at the gap between where we are and where we want to be.
And that gap is infinite, Sophia. Because as soon as you close one gap, your brain creates a new one. This is what psychologists call the hedonic treadmill. You get the new car, you get the promotion, you move to the bigger apartment, and for about a week, you're happy. But then, that becomes the new normal, and you start looking for the next thing you're missing.
It's an exhausting race. I see people who have everything, health, money, family, and they are still miserable because they are focused on the 5% of their life that isn't perfect. We've turned wanting more into a personality, and we've forgotten the art of cherishing what is.
I think modern culture makes this worse. Marketing is literally designed to make you feel incomplete. Every advertisement says, "You are not enough yet, but if you buy this, you will be." We are being fed a constant diet of not enoughness.
And then there's the comparison poison we talked about before. I look at my life, and it's objectively good. But then I see someone else's life that looks better, and suddenly, my good feels like bad. My gratitude evaporates because I'm measuring my reality against someone else's fantasy.
Gratitude is the only cure for that poison. But people often think gratitude is just saying thank you or being polite. It's much deeper than that. It's a cognitive rewiring. It's the active choice to move your attention from the lack to the abundance.
But how do we do that without sounding fake? I hate that toxic positivity where people say just be happy, while their house is literally on fire. Sometimes life is hard, Alex. How can you be grateful when you're struggling?
That's a great distinction. Gratitude isn't about lying to yourself. It's not saying everything is perfect. It's saying things are hard right now, and I still have air in my lungs. Things are difficult, and I have a friend who listens. It's the "and" that saves us. It's about seeing the full picture, not just the dark corner.
So, it's about perspective shifts. I remember a story about a man who complained because he had no shoes, until he met a man who had no feet. It sounds like a cliché, but it's a powerful reminder that our problems are often someone else's prayers.
Exactly. We take our baselines for granted. Running water, electricity, a bed, the ability to see colors. To a person from 200 years ago, we are living like gods. But to us, it's just Tuesday. We've become gratefully blind.
Gratefully blind. I'm definitely guilty of that. I focus so much on the future Sophia who has achieved everything that I ignore the current Sophia who actually has a pretty amazing life right now. I'm treating the present moment like a waiting room for a better life.
And the tragedy is, the better life never arrives because your brain will still be in waiting room mode when you get there. If you aren't grateful for what you have now, you won't be grateful for what you get later. Gratitude is a skill, not a result.
So, how do we practice this skill? If my brain is naturally looking for the lion in the bushes, how do I teach it to look for the berries on the tree?
That's exactly what we're going to discuss in part 2. We'll talk about the 3 blessings exercise, why gratitude journals often fail, and how to find beauty in a bad day.
I'm ready to open my eyes, Alex. Let's take a quick break.
And we are back. Before the break, Sophia, you asked $1 million question: how do we teach our brains to look for the berries when we are programmed to fear the lions? It's a literal battle against our own biology.
It feels like fighting a giant wave, Alex. My brain is so good at finding the wrong things. If I have 10 great comments on a video and one mean one, I will think about that one mean comment while I'm trying to fall asleep. My gratitude for the 10 supporters just vanishes.
That is the negativity bias. To overcome it, we need more than just positive thinking. We need positive noticing. One of the most famous tools is the 3 good things exercise. But most people do it wrong. They just write, coffee, weather, cat. That doesn't change your brain.
Oh, really? That's exactly what I do. Laughs. I just make a quick list before bed. Why is that wrong?
Because your brain isn't feeling it, it's just filing it. To rewire your neurons, you have to savor the moment for at least 15 to 20 seconds. When you think about that coffee, you have to remember the smell, the warmth of the mug, the first sip. You have to let the goodness actually sink into your nervous system.
So, it's not a to-do list of gratitude, it's an experience list. I have to relive the joy for a few seconds. That makes so much sense. It's like the difference between looking at a photo of a beach and actually feeling the sand between your toes.
Exactly. You're building a mental library of safety and abundance. And once you do this consistently, your brain starts to look for good things during the day so it has something to report at night. You become a detective of joy instead of a detective of problems.
Detective of joy. I love that. I'm going to start looking for clues of happiness everywhere. But Alex, what about when things are really bad? Last year, when I lost my job, I couldn't find a single berry on the tree. I felt like the whole forest was on fire.
That is the hardest test of gratitude. In those moments, we need functional gratitude. You don't have to be grateful for the fire. You don't have to say, I'm so glad I lost my job. That's fake. But you can be grateful for the tools you have to fight the fire.
Like my health? Or my friends who supported me? Or the fact that I had some savings?
Yes. It's about finding the solid ground underneath the chaos. Even in the middle of a storm, the ground is still there. Gratitude is the flashlight that helps you find the exit. It doesn't make the storm go away, but it stops you from being blinded by the darkness.
I've noticed that when I'm grateful, I'm also more creative. When I'm stressed and focused on the gap, my brain is tight. I can't think of solutions. But when I acknowledge what I do have, my brain relaxes, and suddenly, new ideas start to pop up.
That's because gratitude moves you from the fight or flight system to the rest and digest system. You can't solve a problem if your brain thinks you're being hunted by a predator. Gratitude tells your brain, we are safe enough to think.
So, gratitude is actually a performance enhancer. It's not just a nice feeling, it's a competitive advantage in life. Laughs. If I'm grateful, I'm smarter, faster, and more resilient.
Precisely. But we also need to talk about comparison gratitude, not comparing yourself to people above you, but realizing how many things you have that others are literally dreaming of right now.
Like the no shoes versus no feet story. It's a bit dark, but it's a reality check. I complain about my slow internet, while millions of people don't have clean water. I complain about my boring job, while millions are desperate for a paycheck. It's not about feeling guilty, it's about feeling fortunate.
Fortunate is the word. And the best way to pay back that fortune is through active gratitude, which is kindness. If you are grateful for your friend, tell them. If you are grateful for your life, help someone else. Gratitude that stays inside your head is like a gift that is never opened.
A gift never opened. Wow. I think I need to start writing more thank you notes. Not just for big things, but for the small ways people make my life better. My neighbor who smiles, the barista who remembers my name.
Those micro connections are the fabric of a happy life. And finally, we need to be grateful for the struggles. Because the struggles are what made us who we are today. My biggest failures taught me more than my biggest successes ever did.
So, I should be grateful for my broken heart or my lost job?
You can be grateful for the strength you found in the middle of that pain. You are a warrior because of the battles you've fought. Gratitude is the armor you wear into the next one.
This has been such an eye-opening talk, Alex. I feel like my gratitude gap is starting to close. I'm looking at this room, at this microphone, at you, and I feel incredibly lucky to be here.
Me too, Sophia. Me too. To our listeners, take 15 seconds right now. Look around. Find one thing that is good and let it sink in. Don't just file it. Feel it.
Your life is happening right now. Don't miss it because you're looking for a better one.
Thank you for joining us today. We are so grateful for your ears and your time.
Stay grateful, stay present. Bye everyone.
Bye.